I was watching through a video that I am in that someone else did yesterday. I just want to see what they chose to edit in.
I hope it was on YouTube and not somewhere else. Hey!
I was just about to say.
So you defeat Dragons, and you probably just start ambling your way back to the village. Back the way you came.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little disappointed we couldn't take their heads.
No.
They vanished.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just idle chit chat with the party. That's all about that. It's usually head related after a battle.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of the things that we fought recently, we can't really take trophies from. It would be frowned upon if we did with a lot of the
Like what?
people.
I mean, we have the head bag for a reason.
Yeah, but I mean, those aren't really trophies. Those are more like proof of, act.
Isn't that what a trophy is?
No.
I mean, yeah.
Yes and no.
Well, what do you take a trophy for if it's not proof of your conquest?
To sell to people.
Well, that's not a trophy.
Varric pulls out his trophy bag. Back in.
No fingers in there?
No, lots of monster parts.
What did we ever do with that gnome's hands?
Oh no.
We probably buried him with them. No, we probably buried him with them, I imagine.
I think we did, but
Yeah.
I was about to say
There
that's
was
still
talk
something
about keeping
in
it.
their bag.
yeah,
You didn't mention keeping the gnome's hands. You didn't.
yeah,
though.
we did. Yeah.
Is that still in the bag?
No.
I'll look just in case.
Just find a skeletal hand with rotting flesh on it.
See, Varric's smart. He doesn't take anything that can perish.
Teeth, mostly claws,
Teeth and bones, and a crystal.
and a crystal. Yeah.
You make it back to the little marble village. One of the kobolds is like, "You've coated in blood!" Pointing at
Yes.
one of you. Most of you are. Not always your blood. In the case of Aelinor. And
I should gotta swim.
that's true. In bloody water. And Leash is kind of stepping outside of his building and does open his arms and says, "Good. Now in the morning you can climb up the tower to meet the Jade Dragon. You'll want to do it in the morning. You'll want a good rest before making that trek.
Who were those snakes?
Ancient guardians that prove that you are worthy of being here, that you are worthy of saving the world, as you say.
We're
The
not
Jade Dragon
worried.
does not require you to do it. It is not an ancient rule that is made as a lock to a key. It is more to test your character.
Oh, are we the
What
first?
the fuck
to
does...
get past-
Okay, no, I'm sorry. What exactly does us killing a monster have to do with our strength of character?
It proves you can kill monsters.
What does that do with our character?
Also,
Bruin
like,
literally just passing it and covering he's face bombing. He's just full
Varric
on.
like does a little hand up and is like, "What happens if no one's worthy? Does the world just die?" Like,
Any asshole can kill a snake.
Jade. That's so good.
Someone,
I'm not.
Someone please quote that. Any asshole can kill a snake.
He shakes his head and motions to Varric. He's like, there are many threats to this realm. And this proves that you are worthy enough that this is a threat she must watch over.
Oh, okay, that makes
Were
more
we
sense.
the first to surpass this trial?
No. And you will not be the
Then-
last.
What happens to the snakes?
They regenerate.
They are
learn in that
celestial
water.
beings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Demigods.
that,
say
ex-
that
that,
you
ex-
would
that explains it.
word them as.
That's an unfortunate state of being.
Some beings live to fight. Some beings fight to live.
I'm just gonna look at Tobias when he says "live to fight."
See, I get that. And when you put it that way, it actually doesn't sound that bad. You just always have stuff to fight, and then if you get killed, you just come back and fight more.
So there was word of
It
lentils.
was actually quite similar.
Yes! If you are hungry and in need of sustenance, come and similar to the plan of our village, just kind of food is being amassed in the middle of the village.
Into it.
Simple, like lentils and milk-based dishes that are very nourishing and not necessarily pleasant, but
I'm gonna get out my tea kit. I'm gonna make some tea, and anyone who wants some tea can have some tea.
I will take you up on tea.
You can eat, and while eating out of very simple little stone bowls, he'll mention is like, you are free to rest here on this island as long as you need. There are places you may not travel to, but you may rest here, regain your strength if in need of protection against the horrors outside of this island. And you need... There are often adventurers who come here to retire, I believe is what you would call it, when they have dealt with their problem.
Always seems to be a world-ending problem, doesn't there?
Yes. There are many. The Jade Dragon exists to make sure that our world is safe from the majority of them. But there's a lot more to it than that.
So these areas we may not go. Tell me about those.
You may not go to the Dead Man's Cliff on the east side of the island. You may not go to the caverns beneath the forest. And I would avoid the shores unless you're planning on leaving. That is not forbidden. It is just unwise.
What makes a location forbidden? Just curious, mostly.
Because the divine has forbode it.
Because
It's not our job to question. Although many... He's like slowly sitting down. Every adventurer who comes here does.
That's because the adventurers are on a hunt. They seek knowledge, they seek purpose.
Sorry.
I noticed that too. Yes, the people of a certain candor who end up here. I am aware. That is the way of this place. Those of good and strong heart who wish to not see the world befall harm in whatever they see the harm to be. That is when people come here to seek the Jade Dragon.
Realize most people find their way here, probably do so by going places they're told not to go, right?
Burrow just nods. That's how we got here.
Usually you end up coming here with an object of vast magical power that could destroy the world. So perhaps you understand not to go where you're told not to.
But if we don't, someone else will.
I don't understand much.
It's the nature of people.
And that's definitely one of the things that I probably never will understand. As Brew had said, it's the nature of humans.
Well, it is not the nature of dragons. We respect the Jade Dragon and we do as she tells us.
You know, I have a much more distant connection with my god. Doesn't tell me to do things, just simply puts paths before me and leaves it up to my decision. It's very frustrating. Sometimes it would be nice to just be told what to do, but simultaneously, it gives me the ability to make the choices to be the good person that I'm meant to be, to do that for other people. To follow blindly, I think without questioning, is where you reach danger.
If you think I have no free will and anyone on this island has no free will, then you're wrong. But you do make valid points.
I believe you have free will. That's not my point. You have a much closer connection with your god. You have more reason to trust your god. I have never met my god. I do not live on an island with my god. Difference, certainly.
Times have changed.
Indeed, they have.
In any case, I think it's best if we get some rest. Don't want to stay up reveling too late.
If you go and find somewhere to sleep here, they don't have rooms or anything prepared for you. They straight up sleep under.
Is there just like a hut around here?
Yeah, and that's where most of the they just sort of lay down wherever they seem to want to, and
Cool.
get some
I'm
sleep.
going to do a dream ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Reaching back to the dragon lore-keeping encounter that I had again.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get as much information about the Jade Dragon as I can through essentially conversation with any dragon I can talk to.
You can give me a religion roll.
Yeah. Man, I wish I was more religious. Or just smarter. That would be helpful. Never mind, that's fine.
You do dream walk. You do look into the dragon sign and the visions it gave you, but while you do find yourself possible to influence and maybe ask some questions, it doesn't really ever come up with much, and you find yourself not remembering much of it, even if you did get answers.
Fair enough.
While Brood is dreamwalking, I am going to, at 2 a.m., super late at night. I'm gonna go find Virik. I'm assuming is translating.
Probably.
Will, just your head shaking?
I know exactly what you're fucking doing, and I'm not happy about it.
I'm curious. I want to go find Virik and basically just tap you on the shoulder while you're hey, look.
What's up?
I don't know about you, but this whole place seems a little, what are they hiding?
Got a bit of that, yeah.
A place called Dead Man's Cliff. How are you not gonna investigate that?
Oh no. Yeah, why is it just a single man? Why is it Dead Man's Cliff? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I feel like we just go take a quick look. No one needs to know.
If you don't take the fucking sending stone with you, I'm gonna be so mad.
I forgot we had those.
And stone and flare.
We literally planned for your shenanigans. Don't fuck it up by not bringing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the party sack, which I just am carrying around. I'm gonna leave the gate stone here with the party in the bag, and while I'm doing so, I'm just oh right, I'll take a sending stone, and I'm just gonna I don't have any parchment. I'm gonna take the dictionary Barut gave me.
Don't you fucking.
And I'm gonna tear a corner off of one of them, and that just says "Gone to Dead Man's," and then I run out of space. And then on the back, I'm gonna put "back soon?" ? And just leave that under the other standing stone in the bag. Hopefully, no one will find it. But if we don't come back, then at least they know where we are.
So 2 a.m.'s only 3 hours away from us getting up to go jogging.
Yeah.
Would I have gotten enough to
You've got a
fill
full
stuff out
rest.
yet?
Yeah. You have a full
Okay,
rest.
cool.
Tobias hasn't had a full rest.
Oh no.
Sure. You don't know where Dead Man's Cliff is.
No.
I said the east.
Oh, it did say the east.
So close.
Smart.
So close
No,
to
no.
not.
All right.
I gotta give you these little tests.
Yeah.
You start. Do you want to both want to stealth? You gave a pass without trace.
The 23.
Vanishes.
36.
You travel
course.
across the grasslands of the Watcher's Isle over winding hills and soft valleys before anything on the island seems to have woken up. Kind of going on a bit of a lad's journey. Around the edge of the island, it's mostly cliffs with the sharp rocks around it. But if you just go east, as east as possible, where the island sort of points and points and points into sort of a spoke, you go from.
How do we know which cliff is Dead Man's Cliff? As we go.
It's quite obvious because you go from green grasses and the occasional flowers that have bloomed so early to dead, blackened grass overlooking a sharp cliff, or on a sharp cliff that has what is quite obviously a single grave of no gravestone, and similar to an elven burial ground, which you would know by now, has a tree right outside of the grave. And even when there's almost like at this point the sun is starting to rise. Very far away, there's just a little bit of light, but even the sky seems darker around it, almost redder, almost aggressive.
Well, that's ominous.
You feel a constrictive force there.
Everything the light touches.
Cool.
Can we see the name on the grave yet, or are we not close enough?
There's no name. There's no stone.
Oh, okay.
There is a stick. It's one of those, which you two figure out is probably like, an adventurer's grave or something. No time for a gravestone.
Huh.
And noticeably, the grave is upturned. You can see bones, but it looks like someone has dug up this body. Not recently, but it has been dug up at some point and kind of half-arsedly so as well. Hey, Tesh, can you give me a wisdom check?
It's always
Check.
wisdom.
Check.
Actually,
It's always wisdom.
charisma.
Oh, okay.
Roll
That I
another
can do.
one then. Hopefully that got that bad dice out of the way. Nope. Never mind.
Doesn't matter either way.
Drow related. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been charisma. Or it might not be. I have no idea. Just purely hypothesizing while you two jokers are out doing nonsense that you're not supposed to be doing.
Right?
You hear the
I was
crashing of
curious.
waves.
The funny thing is,
Seabirds.
Dirk was just thinking, I wonder if we should finish reburying that, make sure it's nice and then whatever happens. This is what's going in his mind. It's we should fix the grave and
Are you saying any of that out loud? Because I definitely wouldn't have that thought, but if you suggest...
No,
Nothing
I-
happens. This wasn't
I
saved. I
wouldn't
was
have said it
just
out
seeing
loud.
if
Yeah.
nothing happens. You're just kind of seeing this place as the sun is sort of setting, rising.
Oh, okay. Then I might suggest do we want to someone ripped open that grave? Should we just
The grave is also noticeably humanoid. The skull in that is humanoid, not dragon.
You know,
maybe all of this? I don't know how all this stuff works, but this is clearly ominous dead stuff. Maybe if we put it back to rest.
Every being is deserving of peace once they've passed on. I think that's a good idea.
have a cleric in your party who does
Right.
burials.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Dude, you're not here. We don't want to tell you we've been here, okay?
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if I really have anything in my inventory that's gonna help with that.
Oh, maybe
Wait, you
if
have a
someone had bought a shovel.
You guys bought shovels. He didn't bring any with him.
Yeah.
We weren't
Hold on,
expecting
hold
to
on,
find a
hold on,
grave
hold on.
at Dead Man's Cliff.
Wow. Crazy thought that.
Right?
I also like it was like
Although that said, we're not really digging a grave. We're just kind of trying to.
it's upturned. You could like push the dirt sort of back.
I think
in.
that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
You do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. and-
Hey Tobias, can you give me a perception check?
Uh-oh. We're trying to help weird spirit that's not at rest. Leave us alone.
You don't see or notice that as the sun rises and the other two wake up and realize you aren't there, the light doesn't catch properly. The individual blades of grass are almost submerged in darkness. The tree is casting a wide shadow over the lot of you, and from the shadow, tendrils of darkness rise up and form a being. And arms grab Virik around the mouth, around the shoulder, and suck him down. And before you even, like, it happens so quickly that you only see it out like the corner of your eye, and Virik is gone.
Oh God!
Oh no.
Okay.
So grounded. Just so grounded.
You don't even know.
Could I roll a survival check to see if I notice any trace of him
Yes!
or perception, whatever? I don't know.
Survival or investigation would make sense for that.
All right, let's do that.
Ooh.
There are no
That was
footsteps, but there's sort of, because it's muddy, there's like an indent of where Virik was stepping, and he only leaves them when he's standing somewhere for a period of time.
The
But there's
thing is,
no
like,
evidence. But you
I've
do.
seen Virik disappear into shadow.
Oh no.
But it's like he's not invisible, and but it does it reminds you of that. But then that sort of evil feeling. There's almost no other way for you to word it. Is creeping up your spine the longer you're here, and you do notice that yes, the shadows are acting very similar to when Virik moves very fast and shadow wisps around him. It shouldn't be where the light touches. Very similar to this place.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm just making friends with an evil tree.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just gonna be like, Virik, are you around? Did you just? Is this a prank? Are you guys? Is the rest of the party awake yet?
They at this point cut
Let's see.
to these two are awake.
I mean, I don't know what they have or haven't found, but I'm just gonna take the sending stone. I'm not really sure how this works, so I'm just gonna like talk.
Oh, the second we find the sending stone, you're getting a message.
It's kind of like as you're like, I should send a message. These two find the sending stone with a note.
You morons.
I'll let Baru hand it if you like. He really wants to send the message.
Wait,
too angry to
why? First of all, I need to know how a sending stone works.
I think it's one.
It's just a single cost sending. You whisper into the
Yeah.
stone.
It was mostly so you wouldn't have to waste all your fucking like fourth
I
level
appreciate
spell slots
that.
or whatever.
Yeah, well, between party especially.
the Rocky Talkies.
You
That's so
idiots. Why the hell did you leave in the middle of the night? And what did you find?
I'm gonna say, well, that should be obvious. He told us not to go somewhere, and then we went there. We found a tree, a grave, and...
For fuck's sake.
But I continue talking into the stone.
Yeah, you actually notice because like the stone has like a little design of a face. Like the magic kind of dissipates from it. Like the color goes away, but I don't know if you necessarily notice until after the fact. You've been talking into
Fair.
it.
I'm gonna go
It's
talk
a
to
few
Lee
words
really
in-
quickly.
Yeah, I was like, do we want to ask the Dragonborn what's up there? So
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Our
Maybe that we could sneak
friends-
off without him.
This is why you don't go. These are places you shouldn't go, strangers. Why? Because you shouldn't go.
Our idiot friends are idiots, and they went
Right.
to Dead Man's Cliff.
I'm gonna do this
Uh,
real quick.
We need to go and rescue them, I'm assuming, from whatever nonsense they've gotten themselves into. What's there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna help him with that, just saying, please, like, we're so sorry about this. We apologize profusely. Like, we need to go save them. What information can you give us?
As Hot
Can I roll
Kitchens...
A persuasion check? Can I roll a persuasion check?
You can. He's gonna
Can I
help
roll
you a
with
little bit
advantage?
to a degree anyway.
Because Baruit is helping me?
Oh, yes, absolutely. As hot kitchens and abattoirs are forbidden for children to enter, Dead Man's Cliff is forbidden for those to enter because it is a place the sun does not touch. Foul, fell shadow magic has stained that place.
Shadow
Ever
magic.
since other adventurers, much like yourselves, buried their friend there and thought it was so wise when they had a question for their friend to talk to the buried soul. Ever since, that place has been a stain where the Shadowfell leaks into our world. If it were not for the Jade Dragon and the magic of this island, it would be a much more considerable scar in reality itself. If your friends have gone missing, they very much may have gone missing on the other side, but that's something the Jade Dragon can help you with, although you may have to plead. It is that way.
I'm going to turn to Eleanor. Why did we not tie them up at night?
I don't know. Should we? We really should start doing that.
That's
Should we just go see the Jade Dragon now? And just ask
what,
for her assistance?
if it's shadow magic, the only person who would know anything about that is Vieric. And he went there. Tobias went there. They haven't come back yet. I can only assume that something terrible has happened.
They did
Which-
respond.
Well, Tobias responded, which makes me more nervous that it was Tobias responding, because if it was, a responsible situation, I'm sure Vieric would have been the one responding. Which makes me think that something has happened to Vieric.
Well, do you want to use a spell and confirm that?
Yes. I'm going to cast Sending to Vieric.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm assuming I need to roll a d20 then to see if that 5% chance comes to fruition.
Yes.
If it rolls a 1, yeah.
Vieric. Everything was very black. Now, Vieric is an elf who sleeps much more than other elves due to time spent unconscious. And honestly, you might have just thought you were unconscious. Because kind of to an elf, you can kind of backtrack the time you were unconscious to a degree. When you wake up, you hear ringing in your ears.
Vieric, is everything all right? We were able to talk to Tobias, but haven't heard from you.
That leads you to open your eyes and look around. And you are in a room made of purple stone that is smooth and stepped and quite decorated, where 3 cloaked individuals with animal skull masks are standing quite ominously. Fire in the sconces is burning purple and blue. You can hear the trickling of water, and you can smell, in fact, just foul, stagnant water. It's kind of like a river that's not very clean, or something like that. And they kind of are standing over you. You can't see any eyes. You can't see under the robes or masks. What do you respond with?
Is the reply to sending verbal, or is it?
It
like,
is a
sort of-
whisper.
Oh, okay. Was taken in room with purple stone. 3 masked men. Don't know where I am. Tree was bad idea.
He's talking
Blame
to
Tobias
someone.
for it.
Shut him up, and someone just smacks you over the head with the quarterstaff. Which imagine the yelp goes through.
That's the last word.
Yeah.
I believe that's the last word.
And the one who's like a slight bit taller than the others actually will crouch, and you can tell that it's bone. It's almost skeletal hands, and kind of crouches down in front of you because you're on the floor, and says, "Who are you conversing with?"
Friend. He sent me a message. I have no idea what's going on. Hi.
A friend on the mortal
what's
realm.
happening?
A friend in the mortal realm. They'll find it quite impossible to find you until we are done with you. If you can
This is
tell
in the
them
mortal
that,
realm?
welcome home. Hey, Brute, how do you react to hearing Virik get smacked over the head during this ending, which kind of does send a resonance through the connection?
He's been taken.
By who?
3 masked men is what he said. In a purple area, I assume that's the Shadowfell.
Even if we could get to the Shadowfell, how do we get out?
The same way we get in, presumably.
So while this is all happening, I have like no idea where Virik is. I have no idea if they're coming. So
I think we should go ask the dragon for
There's
help.
a solid minute of me just walking around in circles, just like kind of panicking, like, okay. I'm just gonna start kicking the tree and eventually hacking at it and just yelling.
Nothing seems to
That's
happen.
fine. I didn't expect.
Eventually,
anything to happen,
with your childhood of chopping down trees, the tree does come down. It's not a very thick tree. It's not like a big old grand oak or anything. The tree comes down and sort of launches off into the actual water and splinters up into the rocks below.
Well, that didn't work.
In fact, you actually see... Actually, well, you can give me a perception check. I'm not giving you this for free.
And I'm going to be talking in your ear in a moment, so...
You notice that the sort of dark grass seems to spread further into the uncorrupted area when you cut down the tree. It just sort of creeps like several feet.
Okay.
We ruined everything.
That's like it. But I'm gonna start like just patting down the grave and being like, look, I'm sorry, just send him back.
That's when sending.
Sending, we're going to speak with the dragon. Virik is in the Shadow Realm. We need to find a way to get him out.
I understand. I'll do what I can. And I'm gonna start digging.
What's that?
I'm gonna start digging where the grave is.
We are just. Oh god.
Tobias, roll initiative.
Oh my god.
I'm going to turn to Eleanor and I'm going to say, I don't think we can go see the dragon because Tobias just said he'll do what he can. I don't think he understood. I think we need to go.
Alright.
Help him.
Alright.
It's going to take us like 2 hours to run there. You're going to be dead by then.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, that's the
Look,
thing,
I
like-
as a player am aware of how horrible this is.
Yeah, like me as a player didn't want to go.
Uh-huh,
Would have really wanted to fucking go.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was a choice. One moment, please.
Alright, let's go and try to save the idiots first and then we'll go see the dragon.
Yeah. We need a
Maybe we can consecrate the land or something.
So you actually notice as you're starting to digging into the grave, and like you're using just the tools you have on you. That you are a hunter, so you do have like trowels and just like a multi-tool kind of thing. From the shadow comes up this form. It similar to ghosts you've seen before. They almost look like tattered in the wind. This ghost's form is almost a burnt orange, like the color that comes off demons when they are banished. And cut up, there are 3 slashes through the middle of the thing. It almost looks like an unstable spirit, you know, and you actually get the first turn.
Okay.
As it sort of comes up from the grave around you.
My first move is going to be to cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself.
Good.
I've seen ghost shit before.
I like the idea that when you cast Protection of Good and Evil, it's like a panicked prayer.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
It's very much just like Tobias prays for the first time since he was a child. Oh. I just had a realization, but it's fine. We'll get there. I'm gonna cast this on myself, obviously, and draw my 2 swords and take like a step back and just look at this thing and be like, "You took my friend. Where did you take him?" That's my turn.
Please give me a Constitution save with advantage.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
The being screams, and you encountered banshees before,
Oh no.
Amazing.
but it's more than that. You almost feel the baleful wails of 1,000 tortured souls come with that scream.
Fuck.
You do take damage.
Cool. Does this count as being frightened?
No, that's why I gave you advantage though, because it's
Cool.
on the line. So that's 21 psychic damage.
Very cool.
Yeah. That's how it responds. Then's your turn again. And it kind of seems to loom closer, and its fingers kind of elongate into very sharp,
Well,
almost not even claws, almost like when a game like the vertex stretches. You know, it's almost.
very cool. Well, a smart man would run,
Too bad, Tobias.
right? I mean, he took Virik. As far as I know, he's the only way to get to Virik. So, I am going to attack this gentleman. With the only tools I really have at my disposal. Which is gonna be... See, it's too bad that spells concentration, but that's okay. We're gonna call that a... Where are you? Kopesh.
Oh! Second one's a
Oh.
miss.
It's silvered too. Nice.
Yeah, the first one's a hit.
Cool. So that's 13 damage.
Mm-hmm. That does cut into the being. But the other hits kind of just fade through mostly. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I guess I use my bonus action. So yeah, that's my turn.
It's going to almost tear apart where you cut into it, and in a voice yells back like, "I just want to sleep. They keep calling me back. I just want to rest," and is going to swipe at you, but you manage to back up. Hey, can you give me a dex save?
Mm-hmm. Do I have advantage on this one because of
Nope.
protection, or it's not a thing related
This is
to that?
just
Okay.
merely the terrain.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You managed. You are like back up away from it, and you feel like you're just at the edge of the cliff. It's the old the camera swoops down and some rocks crumble down.
Classic. Okay. on my turn, I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a health potion. So let me go ahead and roll that real quick.
As you do that, and you're kind of moving away from it, because it kind of is lumbering towards you in the air, and it straight up says, it's like, I'll take you back to the hells with me. At least then I'll have some company. And you almost hear, like, it's one of those typical corruption noises where there's multiple voices yelling, but there's one more present.
I am going to use my action to drink a health potion.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do that, I'm just gonna say, like, then let me help you. I have friends who could help you. I have a friend. But he can help you probably.
Doesn't seem to respond to that. He's just gonna
That's
swing at you
totally
again.
fair. Why would he?
But misses again.
Okay.
It's sort of a backing up versus being lunged at over and over sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Bonus action. Actually, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna use my bonus action to put Slayer's Prey or Hunter's Mark Jr. on him. And I'm going to use my regular action to use where is it? Hunter's Sense, which will tell me some stuff about said creature.
Holy shit, okay. Immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities.
That's pretty much the main thing.
It's resistant to acid and fire. Immune to cold, necrotic poison. Immune to basically every condition in the world and has no vulnerabilities.
Okay. That's my turn.
Guess what? It's gonna lunge at you. This time it does hit.
Okay.
When its claw touches you, you almost feel yourself being dragged. You're not moving physically. It's going to deal merely 9 necrotic damage.
Okay. I don't know what this is gonna do.
The best
But
plans.
I've seen Eleanor preparing these things. I'm gonna pull out one of the vials of holy water that we have, and like open it and throw that at it. I'm not sure exactly how holy water works, but it's like a.
I believe it's
right?
2d6 radiant throwing weapon.
Okay,
Let's check before we do it.
so I'll use one of my attacks to throw holy water at it. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, this is the situation you have holy water for.
Well, this
Not
is-
I
exactly
was gonna
this
bring
situation.
it up, but I didn't think you had it with you.
It's 2d6.
Oh yeah, I
radiant
have the
damage.
stuff with
Yeah,
me.
the
I just
whole back-
left
you just
cave
left the
stone
sending
and
stone.
the other
Yeah.
sending stone with the camp.
There's
2d6.
2 vials there.
2d6.
We have to
Okay, I'd have to make
a range
roll,
attack
right?
roll first.
All right, I'll just use my bow for the because it's the same modifier. Is that a hit?
2d6 radiant damage.
Okay.
Hey.
It's straight up, because this is in melee. Just crash the holy water bottle into the thing, and it screams and resends, and you see smoke starting to come up off of it.
And
Well, there's 2 of those.
then I'm gonna try to stab it, I guess. With my other attacks.
Just like pour it on a blade.
That would be a smart thing.
Stick your
Surface
arrows
hits.
in it.
What we need are Witcher oils.
It's all a bunch of things to prepare. Okay. Ghost's turn. Can't even say, hey, you guys run up your cat. You won't. It's a 2-hour run.
Right?
It hits again. Like you splash the holy water into it, and it still manages to hold on to you, dealing this time a little bit less. Dealing 8 necrotic damage. As it's trying to sort of reform itself. It's getting more and more tattered, as the ghosts do when they're getting closer and closer to
Yeah.
being sent away, at least for a time.
Okay. on my turn. You know what? Fuck it. Whatever.
Fight against
I'm
time.
just going to attack. I'm going all out. I'm just going to attack it 3 times. Where is that? There we go. So attack number 1, attack number 2, and attack number 3.
That's all hits. You just go all out, swinging at the thing, and almost like tearing up a bed sheet. It just kind of seems at some point, all at once, there's nothing there and nothing left. And you didn't even notice that the sky around you was red and that the water was red, but that all fades back to, okay, it's darker than natural, but not red. It's actually a smell of sulfur in the air.
Oh.
Yeah, as I just finished tearing this ghost apart, I'm just gonna like do the classic like swords in each hand, like looking up and just be like, "Give me back my friend!"
Yeah, good.
Varric. The masked figures with the animal skull masks. One of them is the one that was leaning in close to you, sort of leans back and says, "The power inside you was always meant to be here. You're lucky that we're the ones that found you. It could have been a lot worse."
Wait, so where am I again? You said home. I'm not in the Underdark, am I?
This is not your petty Underdark, a world that claims it's full of horrors. This is the Shadowfell, the realm of darkness, the final resting place for those dead who have no god to whisk them to heaven. Don't worry, you're not half-souled yet. You must have a lot of questions.
You can say that, yeah.
We have a lot of time.
Okay. So this is Shadowfell?
This is a tiny room inside the Shadowfell, but yes.
Yes, I'm not that dumb.
You would be surprised. Most people with Shadowfell magic coursing through their veins since birth do not end up quite keen.
I mean, it's been pretty useful.
That is why we have a good feeling about you.
Do I have my belongings on me?
Yeah, you have everything.
I'm gonna pull out the Umbral Totem. How's it look?
It is
just going crazy.
It is like you pull it out and it launches and just kind of bounces around. You catch
Put it back
it
in
again.
The bag. Huh. Okay then. You said you found me. Was I just like? How did?
That is what we do. We are the
There was
followers.
a tree and like a shadow, and now I'm here.
There are places in your mortal world where the veil runs thin. You stood over one of those places. We are the followers of the ferryman. We make sure people go where they are meant to go. So we brought you here, where you are meant to be, where you can be trained, where you can become useful for the cycle of life and death.
Okay, so I can be useful for the cycle of life and death. What exactly am I being trained for? Like, what does that entail?
They all turn and start moving. There were no doors in this room, but when you kind of glance where they're going, there is now. There's just an archway that sort of goes off.
Grab my stuff.
It's a stone corridor with like a canal tunnel with a simple little boat in the water. And it's one of those things you know there's water there. You can smell it. You can hear it. You can't really see it. It's just blackness. With a lantern. That the lantern is kind of casting a similar sort of purple bluish light, and they get in. Actually, all but one of them get in, but the one you're talking to gets in and sits facing you. Kind of motions for you to sit on one of the other little steps. Where the other one will just kind of raise its hands, and an oar appears and just start rowing the boat very slowly. We found you. You can be useful. You can be more than just a mortal. You can matter. That's what the ferryman does. He gives us purpose in the grandest of schemes. This is going to be a blessing for you.
Okay, is this like a choice, or is this just a thing that is happening?
That will be decided when you meet the ferryman.
Okay.
It's wise you say yes. Those who say no end up with less.
I'll leave that one. Okay.
You are very useful. You were born with shadow magic in you, I can tell that. You don't know what you're doing with it, but you can use it. It's natural to you. Every single prince in the Shadowfell would want you. Every single one. You're lucky that the ferryman found you. You won't be doing some sort of evil deed. You won't be seducing the masses. You won't be raising the dead. You'll be making sure that people go where they're meant to go. And when you have talked to the ferryman and you have found your place, we can send you back to your friends. If you make the right choice, that is.
Okay. That's sounding much more promising. Okay.
You'll see that everything is much more pleasant if you make the right choice. At this point, you leave the tunnel, and you can see a sky that is sort of permanently trapped in the twilight hours, where the sky sort of has that gradient pinkish purpleness. There's no stars, there's no moon, but it's also not fully dark either. There's kind of like a light that hangs. Seems like you're surrounded by this water as the little boat moves. You actually look back, and you can see the Watcher's Isle, but it's not green. In fact, the shores are made almost entirely of skulls and bones. It's just this big mass of bone.
Huh. Okay, that's different. I'll turn back. So we're on. You said we're not on the mortal. This is not a plane?
Your mortal realm casts reflections, as it was decided by those who made it. This is the shadow of your world. You have left an island, and so you are leaving an island. Everything that exists in your world casts a shadow into the Shadowfell, and the shadows in the Shadowfell cast into your world. The place you found yourself was where that veil ran thin. Luckily, it was where we were looking, not where something else was. Not everything here is polite, not everything here would talk to you. Not everything here would be able to talk your language. You could have been snapped up by a shadow dragon. You could have been grabbed up by soul catchers. There's a lot of bad things here. You're lucky.
Well, thank you. One question. The stuff that happens in our world echo here, like, while it's happening? Like, say if a town was wiped out by, like, a giant gate, would that be here?
It depends. There's no exact answers, but largely yes. For example, this is not just the case for the Shadowfell. If you take this duty, you may even travel to the Feywild. the light reflection of your world and our world. When the city of Lichvale was destroyed so many years ago, it has left a burning hole in that realm that has never been repaired. Sometimes things carry through with great resonance and strength. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes places here have no connection to your world. Sometimes they are exact reflections. Cities are filled with bodies. They don't exactly do as your mortals do, or anything of that sort, but there are similarities. You'll be able to understand it in time.
Huh.
Now, this might
Okay.
take a while, so I encourage you to rest. And he actually reaches forward, and like the skeletal bone touches your forehead, and you just fall asleep. Even though you shouldn't sleep. So really, you fall unconscious. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, fuck.
See you in a couple minutes.